Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to do another How Are They Holding Up? And this time, we're going to take a look at the Fans Toys Apache figure, their version of Springer. Now, this is like Coot, which we looked at a little while back, is one of those figures where I never actually looked at this figure originally, because I didn't have it when it first came out. So doing a full review is just kind of pointless at this point, because he's been out for so long. But doing a quick, like, how is it holding up? I figured, this is where these things really come in, because, I, like you, a lot of the people that are out there that are either just getting in the hobby or just going over to MP, or like me, who are, have switched back and forth, so it's just kind of like, now I have to pay aftermarket pricing for things. How well is it holding up? And I really sat there for a very long time, trying to decide which one to get, because there's like Big Spring, there's Open and Play. I think there's two little companies, like Open and Play and somebody else, I can't remember. And then MMC made one, Fans Toys made one, and then the X-Transbox one just came out. So there's like 5 different versions of Springer out there, which is crazy to me, and just one of those, it really hammers home that point of, like, can we really not do other characters, or do we really have to go in and just keep doing the same figure over and over and over again? It's obnoxious. But yeah, anyway, I sat there and I thought, which one do I want? And I kept, I watched reviews, I watched, Skullface's war videos, or versus videos. Mine were called war videos, not his. I watched his versus videos, and at the end of the day, the deciding factor was TF Source had this guy on sale a little while back, just a couple days ago for me, but I know it's been a couple weeks for you guys. And he was a 120, which made him the cheapest of all of the Springer options. And I was like, all right, I'm in. So I bought it. So he comes with the gun, which, as you can see, he holds pretty well. And he comes with a green sword, which I'm guessing is more for helicopter mode, and then the silver sword for robot mode. Which, I mean, really, you could use either one for either, but, that you have options. Now, we're not going to transform him, just because that's not what we do on this, in this show, for How Are They Holding Up. We're just looking at an overview of the figure. And if it's still a viable figure, because I know this one's older, and it just got a reissue, but I think the reissue's been sitting on the shelves for quite a while. So, head is on a hinge swivel, so you get the left and the right, a little up, a little down. All that works pretty well. Shoulder pads can kind of rotate a little bit, whatever you want it to do. Ratchets out to the side. Frictions around. There is a thigh swivel. Bends at the elbow, pretty good range of bend there. He's got blockier forearms, but that's, whatever. Wrist swivels, and that's it. Thumb is on a ball joint with a hinge in there, and it's got like a natural like curve to the thumb, which is nice. And then each finger has 2 points of hinges. They're the older kind of Fans Toys style, where it's just very blocky, but at least they made the fingers themselves different sizes, so that looks decent. I mean, the hand's built well, it doesn't feel great, but it does function the way you want it to. Wrist, ratcheted swivel, no ab crunch. Thighs swivel, but it looks like there's also like a slider joint in there, I'm guessing for transformation. And then hips up to there, back to there, frictions out to the side, thigh swiveled like I said. Looks like there's a double bend knee So you get a pretty good range of motion there. And I'm guessing it goes further, but I don't want to push it. And then the feet have a rocker and a tilt. Now my tilt, as you can see, is a little on the loose side. So and this one, not as bad, but it is still there. So I'm not sure if there's a way to get in there. If it's one of those things where you could just tighten up a screw, or if it's a pin or something, I don't know. I might take it apart to go in there and take a look, but as it sits now, I'm not planning on it. There we go. All right. But all in all, pretty good looking figure, I gotta say. Here he is next to Prime. So he's about the same size as Prime, a little bit more bulk to him. Let's see if I've got a hot rod sitting around here somewhere close. My whole collection's all disheveled because of these how are they holding up videos. Here he is next to Hot Rod, the MP version, Target Master MP version, technically. And yeah, I'd say size-wise, I mean, I'm sure it's about right. I hate having so many characters the size of Prime. You know, that's just personal preference. I've never been a fan of that, but you know, it is what it is. You know, they just kept making things bigger and bigger and bigger. So, but it also, like, in a war sense, it makes sense that, like, characters like Springer, who come into the war later on, would be bigger and more warlike than the original Autobots, which were just like cars and vehicles. So let's see here. He can hold a sword. Just add that into the side. It holds really well. It doesn't really, you don't even need the fingers to really balance it. It holds pretty well. So I'm sure that's the same with the other sword, but we'll try it real quick. Yep, just fine. And then you can take the swords here, and you can, there's a little hole there, and you can kind of plug the swords into the side if you want to have them like that. I was really hoping that there was a plug for them to just go onto the side here, because this doesn't want to rotate, and I think it locks in here for vehicle mode. Yeah, but I kind of wanted to just have it sit on his back like that, but you can't win them all. And then we could just plug that in. Alright, and there you go. Two things that I don't like about this figure, which is, you know, two things I don't like about a lot of figures these days is, and it's not just me, and I've gone into this before. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have things like this, but these feet are die cast. And they're painted, so they're very smooth. So he slides pretty well on this, and so when I put him on the glass on my shelf, he's going to be all over the place. So that's something I don't like. I think that's something they should have really thought about. And you know, if you're going to do something like that, you know, maybe put some little rubber pads on there. Because I know I'm not the only person that does glass shelving for my display, or some sort of smooth shelving. So it would have been nice if they had it like a stable feet. And also those ankles, especially this one. I'm going to have to open it up and see if there's a way to tighten that. I don't know. It looks like it's going to be some work though. But it's just like, this is just too loose. He's not, it makes him unstable. So if you go too far back, he wants to fall back. Luckily those little wings on the back kind of hold him in place, but if he goes too far forward, he's going to lean forward. So it's just kind of like I wish there were just friction a little bit better or ratcheted. I think ratcheted ankles are a good thing. They don't need to be super hard ratchets either. They just ratchets. So in the end, I love this figure. I think he looks great. I'm very happy that I bought it. I was really torn on which one to get. I'm glad I went with the Fans Toys one. I'm not going to sit here and purchase the MMC and the X-Transbot ones to see which ones I think is the better of the three, and then there's the other two out there as well. I'm just not going to do that. I can't afford it. All I can say is if you can get this guy on clearance, I think I was kind of like looking through. Toy Dojo has him for about $160. So I would go with them. But if you could get him around the $150 mark, then I would highly recommend it. I'd give him a 9 out of 10. At $220, $150 or below, 9 out of 10. That's where I'm at. At $220, probably a 7 out of 10. At that price, I think they really should have had those ankles working better. But past that, I think it's a pretty solid figure. I mean, I do recommend him. I think he's pretty good. I am smitten. This guy's a solid figure from Fans Toys. They did a good job. So, I think that's all I've got for him. I think I just need a wheelie and a Ultra Magnus, and then my movie shelf is complete. Or maybe a blaster, I guess. And a blur. Fuck. Keep thinking of more to add in there. But yeah, I think it's a good figure, good release. Recommend him.